Hello, this is Amish Raging, and welcome to my HS-10 of the review. Wait a second, something doesn't sound right. Alright, let's try that again. Hello, this is Raging Amish, and welcome to my review of the HS-10. There we go, that's better. Well, it's official. After this video, I count a total of 10 primaries that I still have to review.
Way to go, dude! Hooray!
It feels good. My only true goal with Black Ops is to review all of the primaries, and it looks like I'll hit that mark. So, without further ado, let's take care of the HS-10. I have to say, this is a pretty tough weapon to review. The HS-10 offers the option of holding one shotgun or carrying two, with one in each arm. Playing with one HS-10 is way different than playing with two, so that makes doing this review somewhat cumbersome for me. For the sake of sanity, I'm going to first look at what one HS-10 is capable of and refer to the dual-wield version when necessary. Generally recognized as the classified shotgun, the HS-10 is available for purchase once you have bought every other shotgun. The HS-10 is semi-automatic with a fire rate capped at 341 RPM, only slightly faster than the SPAs. In addition, the HS-10 shoots 8 pellets per buckshot, with each pellet doing 30 to 10 damage. The range of this damage comes in at about 15 meters, but if you put in a dual wield, you lower the range by about 15%. The dual-wielded HS-10s drop off completely at 12.5 meters.
Ah, son of a bitch!
Saying how many shots it takes to kill is difficult, since you fire a spread of pellets rather than individual rounds. As a rough guesstimate, the HS-10 takes 1 to 3 shots to kill. It depends highly on where your enemy is. Up close, you have to hit with 4 pellets, which usually means 1 shot, but can mean 2. At a distance, I found the HS-10 to be pretty consistent at a max of 3 shots. I should mention that none of the shotguns get a headshot bonus. You may be awarded a headshot, but that's just because the killing pellet happened to hit the head. Going down the stat sheet, little has been different so far between the HS-10 and its brother, the SPAs. Well, we have one key stat that really makes this weapon different. The HS-10 comes with a 4-shell capacity. For a semi-automatic shotgun with weak pellets, this is detrimental. A 4-shell capacity means constant reloading, and even worse, a horrible ammo loadout. You'll find yourself often saying this:
I am completely out of ammo.
Dual wield cures this ill, however. You double your starting ammo loadout and shell capacity. Using said attachment comes with penalties, however, which we'll get into shortly. Continuing with the gun's performance, the HS-10 comes with low penetration power. Like the rest of the shotguns, you can't penetrate obstacles. Your targets need to be out in the open. The hipfire crosshairs, however, are a bit more interesting. The crosshairs come with a dual personality, literally. The solo version has the standard hipfire of both the Olympia and SPAs. When you put on dual wield, the crosshairs change. They become huge, giving the HS-10 a wide spread of pellets. So wide to the point that you don't really hit much. I don't think anyone would be envious of these crosshairs.
You guys are just hella jealous.
Moving on, the raise and drop times come in as follows. For the solo version, the gun raises in 0.75 seconds and drops in 0.55 seconds. This is quick for a shotgun, and is matched only by the Olympia. I should also mention that you aim down the sight in 0.2 seconds. I rarely aim down the sight with a shotgun, but the movement is quick if you decide to do it. Using dual wield lengthens each of the switch times by 1/10 of a second. There is no aim down sight time for the dual wield version, as pulling the left trigger fires the left shotgun. The dual personality continues in the reloads. The solo version reloads like the SPAs. The first shell reloads in 1.35 seconds, and each subsequent shell reloads a bit quicker at a rate of 1 every 0.65 seconds. With the dual-wield version, you somehow usurp the need to reload shells, as the guns simply lower out of screen and reload all at once. Forget having to reload shells. It's just like reloading pistols. Your character has magic hands that defy the laws of physics. These magic hands come at a price, however. The overall speed of the reload is a bit on the slow end. The shotguns reload in 3 seconds by default, or 3.4 seconds if the shotguns were empty. The add to gun time, however, comes in at 1 second. If I read Dan Kearson's site correctly, you cancel 2 seconds of unnecessary reload time if you properly take advantage of the add to gun time. That's significant. Master the sprinting reload cancel, and you'll never be caught with empty shotguns. With the reloads done, now it's time for the recoil, so here goes. The profile comes in with a value of 75 to each side and 95 to 100 upwards. This matters little. The rate of fire is so low that the gun recenters after each shot. This is partly because of the mediocre center speed, coming in at 1200. That's a pretty low value, but is more than enough to get the job done when you consider the low RPM. Last, the irons on the HS-10, to put it kindly, have room for improvement.
You suck.
They're not the clearest things in the world, but I guess they'll do. Honestly, I very rarely aim down the sight, so I really don't think they make all that big a difference. But of course, it is time to take a look at what does make the biggest difference with this shotgun. The attachments, or attachment I should say. No attachment, solo version. Selecting no attachment gives you the solo version, and to be frank, it has little point. I can't really make an argument for the solo version. It's simply outclassed by the HS-12. My reasoning is very similar to why I say the Dragunov is obsolete in the face of the wall, and the Uzi is useless when compared to SMGs like the Spectre or MPL. You can use the HS-10 with the solo version, but there's really little point when you consider the Spaz outpaces it in every meaningful category. I kinda have to wonder, why did Treyarch make so many useless guns?
Why? I don't know. I was drunk.
Dual wield. If you're going to use the HS-10, well, you had better be using this attachment. You strap on the arm cannons of doom, and you can just go to town. You double your shell capacity to 8, and double your ammo loadout to 32. The only problem is this comes with a lot of penalties. Your crosshairs widen, the weak shots are spread out over too large an area, your damage drops off quicker, and you're going to tend to run out of ammo if you don't pick Scavenger. Still, as bad as that sounds, no one can deny this gun's power. No other weapon can put out this much firepower. Not even the FAMAS. You know about the FAMAS, right? It's that gun Treyarch designed for fairies!
For the last time, I am not gay.
Oh, it's going to be fun reading the comments from people defending the FAMAS. Always is. Remember, people, at the end of the day, I'm just poking a little fun at Treyarch's screw-up. These jokes are not intended for you to take personally. Please keep this in mind. But I digress. Back on topic, the HS-10 is a close-quarter specialty weapon. If your enemy is within the, albeit very short range, they're doomed. Because of this limited range, however, you have to know how to pick your battles, and you can better do this by wisely guiding your perk selection. To start, picking your blue perk comes down to one thing. Can you get by with the starting ammo loadout? If you can, then pick what you want, but if you can't, then you had better pick Scavenger. The red perk comes down to one of two choices. For the solo version, Sleight of Hand is mandatory. You'll constantly be reloading. You need this perk. For the dual wield version, the red perk of choice changes to Steady Aim. It's flat out mandatory. You need the smaller crosshairs so you can actually hit something.
You're right. Have a nice day!
What really makes Steady Aim good, however, is the pro version. The quicker raise time after sprinting will save you when carrying a dual-wielded weapon. The green perk to me is pretty much spoken for. Marathon. You need the extra mobility. Marathon helps you close the gap between you and your enemy quickly. If they're not in range, then the shotgun does nothing. With the perks done, we're nearing the end of the HS-10. But before we come to a close, we need to see one more thing. The HS-10 in zombies. Let's take a look. I hope you guys appreciate this. It took me 2 damn hours to find one of these. Anyway, the HS-10 is essentially a better version of the Stakeout. The buckshot is stronger, it holds 6 shells, and frankly, it is a great weapon for plowing the road. If you put this in the Pack-a-Punch, you get the Typhoid and Mary. It's the dual-wield version, but this time around, they're even more manly, but unfortunately for only about 5 seconds.
Who's the man?
Not you!
were right.
To be fair, the range is double that of multiplayer, and the shell capacity for each shotgun comes in at 8. The problem is you get 96 shells to start, and you'll chew through that pretty damn quick. If you need a weapon to punch holes in the hordes of zombies, these will do the job, but only for so long. With the zombies done, that concludes the HS-10. I gotta say, I'm overall a little blech when it comes to the HS-10. I know Black Ops is primarily short-range combat, but not to the point that the HS-10 actually stands out. If anything, the effective range of this weapon is too short, and really limits the gun overall. Still, the HS-10 has its place. It can wreak havoc if you are playing a game mode where you know the enemy will horde together. Try out the HS-10. It's one of the few original breaths of fresh air the game has to offer. It may not end up being your cup of tea, but you never know. That concludes the HS-10. I hope you'll join me next time, where I'll be reviewing the HK-21. If all goes according to plan, I'll have a special guest, so stay tuned. Until then, ciao.